Welcome back to the Writer Reads an Extract. Today's entry is 365 Days of Flash Fiction. The reading's from the 10th of January and is titled Hot Iron Pixies. Life as a pixie can be hard. Some never left the world, but most returned. They found the old forest gone, the glades and thickets in which they dwelt vanished, diminished or depleted, usually uninhabitable. Some returned to the other world straight away. Some made do as best they could. These pixies evolved and became other than what they were, but the quality of their dust remained the same, albeit with some unexpected properties. The wisest of the dust runners did much to look after these pixie crops, harvesting with care and testing before selling the good stuff for a premium. I hated them. When the runners discovered a nest of pixies dwelling in an iron smelter, they thought they were onto something special. Fae who did not die around iron. They forgot it was cold iron the Fae feared, thought nothing of what hot iron could do. And these runners weren't amongst the wisest. They did not test, and they did not harvest. They slaughtered, taking as many pixies as they could and killing them en masse. I did not find the nest in time, and almost lost the clan. We discovered something was wrong when the first dust bunny went up in flames. At first the addicts thought it nothing more than memories from a bad trip, but bad trips on pixie dust were rare and always catastrophic. The kind of bad trip you could walk away from belonged in the bad old days of meth, heroin and ice, cannabis and LSD, party drugs, uppers and downers. A bad trip for a dust bunny usually had more interesting results. But as bad trips went, self-ignited immolation was a first. Someone had found a new batch of pixies, and it was bad news for the bunnies. Bad news, too, for those of us trying to keep the stuff off the streets and stop a species from being injected into extinction. And we had to find both dust and pixies, getting the dust off the streets, incarcerating the runners and repatriating the pixies, if such an evolution could be repatriated anywhere. Someone suggested a nearby nuclear plant might be suitable, but thinking what might happen with irradiated self-igniting pixie dust hitting the streets soon squished that idea. It took me and the elf-hounds 2 days of working with a band of unicorns to sniff out the pixie nest. Lucky the runners were processing right next door, so we took out the supply point and rescued the pixies in one fell swoop. Getting the stuff off the streets before anyone else went up in flames was another matter. The elf-hounds couldn't track it. The pixies might have adapted to living in close proximity to iron, but the hounds hadn't. While the dust and the pixies didn't kill them, they did set them sneezing and scratching at their noses. This would be handy in the future, once the inflammation in their sinuses settled down. In the meantime, the elf-hound masters were being recalcitrant about lending any more. I sure as shit hoped the inflammation settled down. There was going to be one hell of a compensation case if it didn't. The unicorns consented to trotting around town trying to catch a whiff of the predatory iron. We lost another 20 dust bunnies before we caught it all. And there ends today's reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. That particular setting that I've read from, that actually came into existence because of writing flash fiction. There is a novel on the way. It's going slowly, so keep an eye out for that too. But in the meantime, have a really good week and I'll catch you later.